what's going on, guys? This is Ace of the Third. Thank you so much for watching. And today I'm going to bring you guys this amazing Wi-Fi battle against one of my friends, Brendan. Now, I know I've been gone for a really long time, guys, and I'm really sorry about that. My microphone had broke, and for a while I was stranded and I was stressed out because I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to upload for a really long time because I wouldn't be able to get a microphone. But I happened to get one, and this one is HD quality, and it's nice. It's not my old one, it's a new one, and I'm trying it out, and hopefully it'll be great. So I hope you guys like it. So anyway, if you look at this team, I do believe this is a new team that I haven't tried out before and that you guys have seen, but this team is a team that is centered around the Salamence because Salamence is really awesome. Now, this isn't a really offensive kind of Salamence, it's a defensive kind with Wish and Intimidating max defense, and it's really awesome because it stops things like Heracross and sometimes Snorlax and things like that, like Jirachi and other things that can be really threatening. So if you look at this weakness and resistance chart right here, you can see that I have resistances to all types, which is fantastic. The most detrimental thing on this team should be the ice weakness that it has, but I do have my Snorlax and my Fortress which can resist them, and I have my Swampert who can take them pretty easily because it has a lot of special defense, and so does my Zapdos. Outside of that, everything else seems pretty manageable. So anyway, I know it's been a long time, guys. I'm really sorry about leaving you, but now I'm back. I really do hope you guys enjoy this new battle. It's brand new, it's fantastic, it's great, and I hope you enjoy it. So let's go. So while I was gone, my Sylveon video got like 30,000 views and I got like 160 something subscribers because of that. So in case you're one of those new subscribers, I want to say hi, welcome to Ace of the Third's third generation carnival fun madness time of Six Flags. So anyway, he leaves off the Salamence as I lead off my butt word, and I just go for a word immediately because I knew he was going to switch out into a counter. He switched out to a Celebi, but he gets word out into his Heracross. Now this is perfect, so I can go out into my Hope, which is my Salamence, get the Intimidate off, and take whatever he wants to throw at me. Unfortunately, he missed his Mega Horn, which kind of sucks, so I'm just going to go for a Flamethrower, and then he switches out into his Metagross, thinking that I was going to go for Hidden Power Flying because it was super effective, but I happen to not have Hidden Power Flying, I just have Flamethrower, so that was good for me. So he's going to switch out into his Mystic, knowing that he can take the Flamethrower pretty well, and he can set up some Dragon Dances on me. So I'm going to go for a Toxic just so I can get that residual damage on him, and it's the best thing I can do to him at this point because this is the only move that will really affect him that much. So I'm going to switch out to my Fortress, knowing that Fortress can take 8 HP flying or any kind of physical move. And then I'm going to double switch, thinking he might have Flamethrower or Fire Blast. And if he happens to, then I'll be able to counter it really nicely with my Zapdos. So at this point, I take a little bit of damage from that Hidden Power Flying, not too much considering how much attack that Salamence has. So I'm going to get my leftovers recovered. I'm going to switch out into my Zapdos? Yes, my Zapdos, and then be able to take this Flamethrower he's going to throw at me excellently, and I know he can't attack me with anything that's going to be affecting me too much because I'm special defensive, and he has HP Flying and Earthquake, both of which are not really effective on the Zapdos. So he's gonna switch out into his Celebi. I just go for the safe Thunderbolt, knowing that it's stab, it'll do a lot of damage to it. He happens to go in, and it kind of sucks because he's gonna be able to get up a Calm Mind, which is really terrible for me. So I'm not gonna take too many chances with this. So I'm just gonna switch out into my Falsetto, try to go for a Shadow Ball and do lots of damage to it, and maybe even take it out. So I'm just going to go for a Shadow Ball as he does not try to go for another Calm Mind, and he's going to go out into a Suicune. So I'm like, okay, Suicune's fine. I really don't care too much about Suicune because I have Self-Destruct, which I do believe I'm going to do right now because there's no point of staying around with a Suicune. I mean, Suicune is really like one of the most threatening things in third generation, and if this thing wasn't dead, I'd really have no absolute counters to it except maybe Swampert going for Roar, but that can only work to an extent. So I get to go for a Self-Destruct and immediately take out the Suicune, which is fantastic for me. I don't have to worry about it anymore, and now it's gone, and now one of the biggest threat in this team is gone. Don't have to worry about it too much. So I'm gonna bring in Star Spirit, go for a Spikes, knowing that he's probably gonna go for a Dragon Dance, predicting me to go switch out into my Zapdos or something else. So I'm gonna get up with my first layer of Spikes, which is fantastic for me. And now whatever comes in will take a little bit of residual damage, which is always good because damage is damage, and even the littlest amount of damage, recovery or loss, is the biggest deal. So I'm going to switch out to my Hope, get the Intimidate off, and know I can resist the Flamethrower, which is pretty awesome for me. At this point, I'm just going to be going for a Protect or a Flamethrower. I'm not sure which one. I think it's going to be a Flamethrower, predicting him to think I'm just going to have. I don't remember too much. I had to battle like a really long time ago. So I go for a Protect first, as it goes for an HP Flying. It's fantastic for me. Now he's going to take a lot more damage from the Toxic, which is great altogether. Like I said, little bits of damage are very important. So he's going to withdraw his Mystic and go on to his Thunder, which is his, what's it called? What is this thing called? It's called Jolteon, that's what it's called. Duh. So now it's pretty awesome for me because I know this thing is going to be going for an HP Ice, but really don't care too much. So I can go into my Fortress, get some Wish recovery back, which is always awesome. I mean, even though I only had like 2% gone, but okay, that's good. So he's gonna Baton Pass out and go out into his life, which is his Celebi. At this point, it's pretty bad for me because I really can't do anything about breaking the substitute. So what I'm gonna do first is set up my layers of spikes, and then I'm gonna be double switching out into my Swampert and then going for War because that's the best thing I can do right now. It's kind of bad though because the Celebi could have HP Grass, which if it did, I'd probably die, but you know, it's fine. I mean, that's really the only thing I can really do right now because I just got attacks. Cool. So he's gonna go for a Psychic, and it's gonna do not that much considering how much his special attack he just had. But he's gonna be word out into his Nature, which is his Heracross. This is fine for me because I do have my Hope, which is my Salamence. So this is pretty good because now I can just easily take anything he synchronizes at me. He predicts my switch and goes for a Rock Slide. And considering the fact that he has +1 choice band, the fact that it only did that much is pretty phenomenal actually, and I really think that the Salamence set is fantastic. I don't know why more people don't use this, it's stupid. So now he's going to switch on to his Mystic as I go for a Flamethrower, and it's going to take a little bit of damage but not too much. Now he's at a point where I do believe I can go for one more and then take him out. I honestly think I should have just went for Protect at this point and then got a little bit of recovery back for my leftovers and then tried to, yeah, so he's going to get a crit, which is kind of bad. But considering the fact that I have Wish and Protect, it's okay to an extent. I really don't think I can take anything else from that Heracross at this point, so I really have to be cautious about that, and I have to be really, really careful, because if I don't, then my Salamence is going to be dead, and I'm going to die, and I'm just going to tweet about it, and I can't do anything about it. It sucks. So, speaking of tweets, you guys should follow me on Twitter. I always have that in my description. You should go do that right now if you happen to have a Twitter. If you don't have a Twitter, then you're obviously not a bird. So anyway, I go out into my Hourglass knowing this Jolteon was going to go for HP Ice. I know it's super effective, but I know I have Calm Mind, and I know I can take at least one of them before I can get up a +1, and then I'll be able to switch out into anything I want to with my Baton Pass, and that Pokemon of choice was most likely going to be my Zapdos, because Zapdos takes the Baton Passing of Calm Mind the best out of everything on my team. So I do go into Zapdos, which is pretty awesome for me. I don't think I'm really going to be walling his Celebi too much when I think about it, because his Celebi does have Calm Mind, which is kind of detrimental altogether, but okay. So he's going to go for a Baton Pass out into his Nature, which is his his Heracross, and then he misses his Mega Horn again. And I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking as to why he would do something like that. I think that was just the most stupidest thing ever. And this right here, I don't know why he went out into his Metagross. I mean, I would have thought you would have gone into something like, I don't know, Celebi maybe, but anyway, he just I don't know why he went for an HP Ice. I think he was going to double switch out into his Jolteon, I do believe, and then I was just going to go for HP Ice and then take it out. But even so, I probably should have just went for a Thunderbolt, because I mean, why not? So his Metagross doesn't happen to have Explosion, it has Psychic, so that was a mixed Metagross, which I don't like at all. I really don't like mixed Gross. I think it's stupid. I don't know why people use it. It's not really that effective at all. But okay, so he brings in his Celebi. Finally, I get to go for an HP Ice, but it doesn't really matter too much because he's going to be evening out his special defense with my special attack because he went for a Calm Mind. This is kind of bad for me at this point because I know these things usually have Recover, and they can recover off the damage, and it's just not going to work out. It's not going to be working out for me. So I should have went for War at this point, but I do believe I just keep on going for Ice Beams, trying to get him to switch out to Jolteon. But I'm not sure whether or not that happens. So I get to go for a Roar. Oh, see, this is what happens when you don't narrate for a really long time. You start to forget things. So anyway, he goes on to a Jolteon. I'm like, okay, this is fine. I can go for an Ice Beam or another Roar, predicting him to switch out into something, which I do believe I do. Try to get some spikes damage on things. So I get to get him roared out into a Celebi, which I do believe is his last Pokemon. These two are his last Pokemon, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I do believe that's right. So now I'm going to be going for Ice Beams. I really should have went for Roar. I think I was predicting him to not go. I don't know what I was predicting, but yeah, that's kind of sucky. I should not have done that. So now he's going to be able to live my Ice Beams pretty nicely, even though they're super effective. He's going to go for Psychics. I really should not have been doing this at this point. Now I'm going to be able to just die, which is terrible. I think what I was really trying to do is getting him to a point of his HP where I could revenge kill him with something else on my team. But when I was thinking about it, when I was narrating this, I was thinking, okay, he's faster than my Zapdos, which obviously means that this thingy has a lot of investment into his speed, which means like everything is, yeah. So now I'm gonna bring in my Star Spear. I figured at this point I could just go for an Explosion. He has nothing on his teams that has spikes, and I don't have any more spikes to set up. So Explosion, which is the best thing I could do, but unfortunately Star Spear cannot explode powerfully enough, and unfortunately he's gonna be able to live my Explosion with like, let's see, what is that? I think it's like a negative 1,000%, but I'm not really sure. It could be a negative 1,003, but okay. So he's going to be going for a Recover, which is detrimental altogether. This is really not good for me because now at this point he can stall me out, do whatever he wants to, switch on to Jolteon or just go party, go to Safeway, go on. No, I don't know what can happen at this point that I can stop him with. I could go for Psychics, but even so, he has Natural Cure, so it's kind of bad at this point, really. So now I do believe the only two things I have left are my Zapdos and my Salamence, if I remember this battle correctly. I don't think I am, but I'm gonna go for a Toxic at this point. You know, it has Natural Cure, and what's funny about people is that they never really go for status moves on things that have Natural Cure, and they never realize that if something has Natural Cure and you put a status effect on it, they're more inclined to switch out, which could give you a huge advantage when it comes to the battle. So I don't know why people don't do it, but it's really useful. So if you're seeing this and you usually don't go for status moves on the things with Natural Cure, then maybe you should consider doing that because it works beneficially if you do it correctly and if you predict the switches. So now he's going to be taking a lot of damage from this Toxic after this turn, I do believe. It's pretty awesome for me because now I can just do whatever I want to when it comes to the wishing and the protecting and going for flamethrowers. It's all awesome. So he's going to go out into his Jolteon, live with like a smidgen of health, and I'm like, okay, that sucks a lot. I don't know what to do with myself, but okay. So I'm gonna go into my Celebi, water myself out because there's no point of living anymore. I know that sounds pretty emo, but I mean that's just what it is. I can't really do much of anything with that health percentage. So okay, so he's gonna go out. I'm going to go out into my Adskin 14, which is my Zapdos. I'm going to try my best to take his thingy out. I know his HP Ice is super effective, but I know that with my special defense investment, I can easily live a Ice move, but he happens to get a crit. So I'm like, okay. Alright, so now at this point, I'm going to be going for a rest, or trying to go for a rest, because I'm thinking at this point, he's not going to be trying to, you know, go for a Psychic and take me out, because if he does, then I'm just going to bring in my Salamence and take him out with a Flamethrower. So he did the right move by going for Recovery, but even so, I mean, and now I get all my health back. So I don't think he knew that I had rest anyway, so I guess that's the reason why he did that anyway. So now I'm going to be switching out into my Hope. Now at this point, now that this is his last Pokemon, the fact that he has Natural Cure is irrelevant because they could just go for a Toxic and then whittle him down to an HP point where, you know, he'll just get taken out. So at this point, for Protect first, like I said earlier, little bits of health are very important, and I'm just going to be taking that into advantage, and I'm going to be going for a Toxic and Protect over and over and over again, trying to get as much health as I can with the leftover. So he's going to protect me really nicely at this point. I really just speeded it up at this point because there was no point of you guys seeing all of the same thing over and over again, because it's really just him going for Recover and Psychics and over again, and that doesn't work out. So what's there to talk about? School's almost over, got a new mic, got 888 subscribers, poor, not going to prom, let's see what else, tweets, wow, I really have no life, wow, that sucks, wow. I think what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be uploading the GTS soon, is what I'm gonna be doing. Wow, this is really hard to engage people in this kind of stuff. Wow, this is difficult. Wow, so I think at this point, right about to the middle, right here is where I slow it back down, because at this point he's going to be at such a low amount of health he can't really do anything to me besides just die. So I'm going to be sacrificing my Askin 14, which is my Zapdos, unfortunately, which sucks, but okay. Now I'm going to go into my last Pokemon, which is my Hope, which is my Salamence. He's going to get his leftover recovery back. Celebi's going to get his leftover recovery back. It's irrelevant because he's just going to die to toxic damage anyway, and that is the game, and I do in fact win. So that was a great battle, Brendan. I hope you guys enjoyed that battle. Be sure to like if you liked it, dislike if you disliked it, comment if you are cool, subscribe if you haven't, share if you have the balls, and favorite if you are fortress. Like I said, there's nothing that has been happening right now. My life is extremely unexciting and really uneventful. So I guess I'll see you guys next time. This is so bad. I really hate not narrating for long periods of time because this is what happens. I sound differently and I suck. So I hope you guys enjoyed this for what it was worth. I really tried my best to not make it stupid, but I can't do anything right. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a wonderful day. And have a wonderful Mother's Day, which is coming up next week. So don't forget, make sure you get your mom a card, because if you don't, she's going to hate you forever. She's going to kick you out the house and disown you. So, all right, see you guys later. Have a wonderful day, and goodbye.